Well, welcome to the Forest Mill again. I saw on the web, I saw this gentleman build a little instrument that I thought was fascinating, and he called it a spoon fiddle. And it was basically a carved out big spoon that he turned into, I've seen people call them stick fiddles or spike fiddles. But it was an interesting little instrument, and it had a really good little sharp sound to it. So I thought I'd build one. That's the overall instrument. Just took started with some poplar, 3/4 inch poplar, and just made some wooden, basically just some wooden disc out of them. Drill some holes in them, that way I can get my jigsaw in it and cut the circles out real easy. Cut it out a layer with the bandsaw and then cleaned it up on the disc sander. Started building the second ring out of some pine I had left over. Same process. Decided to take the two rings and just glue them together. Pine at the bottom. Put some weight on them to hold them down while they glued. Cleaned them up, evened them on the disc sander, belt sander I mean. Started building the neck of the instrument. Because it's rounded, it needs to be carved out a little bit, that way it'll fit next to the instrument body well. Did a rough drawing on it and then cleaned it out on the belt sander. Pretty snug. Had to figure out the length of the neck because it needs to be 13 inches from the nut to the bridge. Left a little extra for the peg box at the end. I actually left too much, but this was a prototype build. Cut some blocks out to glue together to make the peg box. Need to make like a little heel piece underneath the neck of the instrument to connect it to the body, give it a little support like that. Decided to go ahead and put it on the router and round off the undersides of the neck, to make it smooth and easy to run your hands up and down on it. Easier to do it now, just seeing how I want to glue up the tail pieces, not the tail pieces, I mean the neck block. Glued them up, clamped them together. Decided to go ahead and glue on that heel piece. 1/8 inch poplar for the bottom. Mark that out. I always do pre-cutting on the bandsaw and shaping on the disc sander. Decided to use a spindle sander and go ahead and cleaned up around the inside of the body. Make it a little bit thinner, haul it out. Cleaned it up on the belt sander. Putting on the peg block, I want it to be out at an angle, that way, because I got big hands, and I put it 3 degrees angle in it, and that way it will angle out. You see what I'm talking about, how it angles out? And that way when I run my hand up, if I have to play the top notes, I have enough room for my hand. cleaned it up on the belt sander with 80 grit. It's easy to shape stuff with those belt sanders. Got that on there. Was originally going to go with 3 strings. I should have stayed with 3 strings. I should have just put those holes together. It's that far apart, but I decided to go with 2. Like I said, this was a prototype. I wasn't even sure if this thing was going to have any sound at all. I decided cedar looks really good with that, so I was going to go to cedar soundboard. Picket fence is really good cedar. It's a pretty much cheap, economical way to get a hold of some cedar. Round it off that end to make the strings go up and easier and smoother. Plane that cedar down to 1/8 of an inch. Marking out the soundboard. Cut and sand, that's always my routine. A little glue on the joint right there ahead of time because that's ingrained, and let it soak up some glue. Drilling a hole so I can put a bolt screw through it. Pull the neck down tighter while it's gluing down. Plus it gives a little support. Worst thing you do is have a neck break off an instrument. Clamp it down while it dries. Figuring out where I want to put the 2 sound holes. I had a little tear out on the left one right there, so I decided just to flip it upside down, that way you won't see it. Took a piece of poplar and started shaping it up for a support bar, a bridge. Lay it down, glue it. I had a fingerboard lying around from another build I was doing that I never finished, so I decided to go ahead and use this fingerboard. Took a piece of mahogany and started marking out the nut. Took my time, cut it, shaped it out with some sandpaper. Left about 1/8 inch overlap. Good time to go ahead and glue the soundboard on. Those clamps are made out of little wheels you get from like Hobby Lobby and stuff like that in the wood section. Very, very easy, economical way to get clamps. Soundboard's on, looks good. Sand, sand, sand. I always start from like 500 and work my way up to 1200 for smooth instrument. Glued on the soundboard. Started working on the bridge. Just used a piece of poplar I had, sanded it down, took my time, shaped it, making sure that it's going to be right for the strings. Shaped it with a diamond file. Go ahead and glue the nut on. Natural stain. I think cedar looks really good, natural color. So I got everything natural on it like that, then I decided to shadow stain it with a little darker spots, like shadowing when you're drawing, with a gun stock to give it a little bit extra color. Time to put in the feather pins. Very easy. Tap them in a little bit with a hammer, and then go ahead and screw them in with your Zither wrench. Making sure the strings are going to follow down the instrument. I need to put a tack in the back to hang the strings on, but I have to make sure that they're going to go down the neck of the instrument. That's what I was doing. drilling a hole for the tack. Doesn't matter if it goes all the way through because the pressure of the strings will keep the tack in place. File down the nut. See those two scratch marks on the neck where I should have put tape on that. Next time I'll know. Just bought some cheap strings off of Amazon. Cut off the ball tips and the little metal tips. That way it had a loop at the end. I can put the loop on around the. Took a little piece of leather and put in the back, so that way the strings won't bite into the instrument. There she goes, stringed up with the bridge in place. Started tightening down. Strings are running perfect down the center of the instrument. Nice build. I had a really good time building this instrument. It sounds really good. It's got a sharp sound to it. Very nice little instrument. It came out a lot better than I thought it would. I just need to learn to play it. Overall, it was a really good time building this. I had a good time.